Tonight on NBC Palm Springs at 5, one local high school getting some much needed improvements to their air conditioning system. We have details on the upgrades coming up.
Also this evening, one firefighter injured while battling a house fire in Indian Wells. We have details coming up.
And rain chances continue for Southern California through Saturday morning. Well, more on that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 5 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
I'm Mark Mester. Let's get right to tonight's top story. Tonight, we're hearing more about how Coachella Valley High School will benefit from receiving the full $70,000 grant from the Imperial Irrigation District. Our Brett Rosen has the latest details tonight, live in our studio. Brett?
Mark, today when I went down to Coachella Valley High School, I spoke with a student who has attended CVHS the past 2 years. First thing he told me was how he enjoyed the school, but what wasn't cool was when the AC units shut off. Coachella Valley High School is over 100 years old, and it's getting an upgrade with the $70,000 grant given to the district from IID. The grant is part of IID's GEMS program, which is to modernize energy for schools. Coachella Valley High School has 3 big AC units over 20 years old. So when Coachella Valley Unified School District received the grant, the project manager says it was a no-brainer. What school would benefit from it?
These units being 20 years old, there's a lot of details in them that need to be addressed, like Freon becomes obsolete, parts are more difficult to secure for repairs. We're going to be able to provide in those areas more consistent, optimal learning environment for students.
When speaking to a student who has attended Coachella Valley High School the past 2 years, he says when the units would shut off, it would affect the way students worked.
They're a little old because they would turn off a lot, but when most classrooms they didn't even have AC, it would help a lot of students in the way that it would help them focus more on their work instead of being all hot and sweaty.
Even parents are hearing from their students how the AC shutting down would affect their ability to focus.
It's not just the AC, it's just the whole building, that's just not up to date, it's everything. It's just AC, they're not able to focus.
Now there's no time like the present, but parents say Coachella Valley High School's AC units have been due for an upgrade for a while now.
It's been time for a long time. It's just that for some reason or another, they just haven't done it, But it's long overdue, the renovation of the ACs here.
Now, timetable-wise for when these new AC units will be in place in the school is up in the air. However, what Christopher Del Rosa told us is as soon as the quotes are verified and approved by IID, then the district can move forward and provide updated AC units at Coachella Valley High School. Live in studio, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
Brett, thank you. We have a local alert this evening. A firefighter has been hospitalized after battling a structure fire in Indian Wells this afternoon. CAL FIRE reporting this blaze started around 12:30. It's in the gated community, the Cove at Indian Wells. It started in a single-family home. The agency telling us the fire was shortly contained quickly there at 2 p.m. The coast was clear. It's unclear how the firefighter was injured. Fire crews did remain on scene for a few hours, and the cause of the fire is still being investigated.
The Dale Fire continues to burn outside of Anza tonight. It's now spreading to just over 1,000 acres. Crews do report, though, this fire is 25% contained tonight. More than 200 personnel have been assigned to the fire, which has burned structures, and it's also led to multiple evacuation orders. First broke out near Highway 371 around noontime yesterday.
And this fire comes on the heels of a couple of blazes late last month. Now California is offering support to those in need of food assistance from the Mindy, Wolf, and Juniper fires. CalFresh customers affected by those blazes who lost food purchased with benefits are eligible to have those supplies replaced. Customers must report their food by July 28th to receive help from the county. And you can find out how to report and request on our website. That's NBCPalmSprings.com.
The Palm Springs Measure J Oversight Commission meets at City Hall tonight at 5:30. On the docket is a presentation from the Public Arts Commission requesting funds from the 1% tax go towards public art installation costs. On the agenda as well is the election of a commission chair as well as a vice chair.
And earlier this month, we told you about the Palm Springs Library and their temporary relocation at Rimrock Plaza. Well, that has now been postponed. They say it's due to HVAC system issues at the new location. According to city officials, the library will begin its relocation on August 9th, meaning the last day of the old library is set for August 8th. The closing party, however, still scheduled for this Saturday. Renovations will begin in August. It's set for 18 to 36 months. Reopening projected for summer of 2027. All essential library services will continue at the temporary Rimrock Plaza location.
Let's get a check on the forecast. This is a live look from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above Rancho Mirage. We're going to send things over to Chloe Carlson, who's tracked the forecast. Big change in the weather from this time yesterday, right?
Yeah, I know. Just looking outside, you might have seen it a couple hours ago. Overcast skies over most of the valley. So we kind of anticipate some cloud cover. Not as much rain today as we thought we'd get, but that's going to continue and pick up as we get into our Friday. Here's a current look at that radar. You can see, most of that moisture is staying well to the east of us. You can see a little bit of action happening near, again, the Santa Rosa, San Jacinto Mountains there. As far as accumulation today, like I mentioned, very light rain for our mountain communities. So most of it we expect to overnight hit the San Bernardino Mountains. And as far as total accumulation, very light sprinkles. It'll pick up more as we get into our Friday. As far as today, I think 7/100 of an inch is what we reported so far for that area. So not a lot of thunderstorm activity currently today. Like we said, it's still pretty quiet, you can see, in Southern California, but the center of that system that's bringing that moisture is still to the south of us. Overnight tonight, it will be moving through the main energy will be moving through Southern California, so we do expect those numbers to pick up a little bit more. So for our Friday, overcast skies will continue for us. That cloud cover as well with that mid-level moisture moving through. 102 right now in downtown Palm Springs at the airport. So yeah, slightly below average conditions today too. We are anticipating, and those backing off a little bit. That'll stay true at least through Friday. As far as wind gusts go right now, onshore flow with us, yeah, not too bad. A little bit gusty, it looked like in Palm Springs earlier, but no wind advisory level winds there. As I mentioned today, that center is still to the south of us, but moving its way through Southern California overnight tonight and through Friday. Here's a look at your 3-day forecast. So we'll stay below average for our Friday, more seasonal as we get into the weekend. Drier conditions on the way for next week. We'll break down more you can expect in that full forecast coming up.
We have an update on the continued South Palm Canyon Bridge project in Palm Springs tonight. Work on this project started in February, and it's expected to wrap up late 2026. This week, work is scheduled to run from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the intersection of South Palm Canyon Drive and Sunny Dunes Road. Desert Water Agency crews will be performing some utility work. The city doesn't expect any lane closures in that area at this time, but next week, crews will remove a section of the storm drain just north of the bridge and install new water lines. And a quick side note on this project, if you're worried about some of those iconic palm trees along the route, city officials say don't worry, no palm trees will be removed. If for any reason they need to remove a tree, it will be preserved and then used for future landscaping. So any markings you may have noticed out there on the trees were made when they were initially planning to move them, but that plan has since been revised.
Local representatives Raul Ruiz and Norma Torres have both sent a letter to Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. They're accusing the agency of unlawfully blocking congressional visits to immigration detention centers. The lawmakers say that DHS is violating federal law by delaying or altering oversight visits. This comes after Congressman Ruiz was denied access to the Adelanto Immigration and Customs Enforcement Facility last week. They're demanding written assurances by Friday that the department will stop all restrictions, follow the law, and grant equal access to all members of Congress, regardless of party affiliation.
Coming up next tonight on NBC Palm Springs, a push to release more information from the Epstein files. We have details coming to the president after the break.
Plus, the summer heat makes the movie theater the place to be. Our Manny the Movie Guy has more coming up in our entertainment block. That's a little bit later on in tonight's newscast. We'll be right back.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
Welcome back. Lawmakers and right-wing influencers are joining the call to release more information from the Epstein files.
But the calls keep growing, even though the president wants to move on. Here's NBC's Kelly O'Donnell.
Today, more drama around the government's Epstein files. President Trump trying to move on, showing frustration at his own supporters who demand more transparency on the sex trafficking case.
It's a disgrace, and I remember every one of these guys. They're my supporters.
Some supporters resisting the president's direction.
If you talk about this, I'm going to excommunicate you. Well, you're not the Pope, bro.
I feel like Trump thinks his base is stupid.
Bringing this into the public arena was President Trump. That's a matter of historic record.
MAGA World has long wanted the Epstein files released. Former Trump advisor and Doge leader Elon Musk weighing in on his X platform, amplifying those angry fires, asking, where did the evidence against Epstein go? Where's phase 2? But a prime target of this ire appears to be Attorney General Pam Bondi, who released a memo this month explaining nothing further would be released, stating the convicted sex offender, Epstein, did not leave behind a client list, confirming Epstein did in fact kill himself in custody, contrary to conspiracy theories that for years were spread by right-wing influencers and media. The president standing by Bondi.
I think she's doing a great job.
But it's not just MAGA supporters calling to release the files. Some mainstream Republican lawmakers do too.
And why don't we just release it and deal with it?
I think it's very important that America knows what's going on. I'm big on transparency.
The president has said he would support the release of any credible files, but there is no indication there's movement on that. Critics remain unsatisfied. The White House effort to move on is being tested. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Washington.
All right, turning to some other news this evening, and this is a controversial move. The Trump administration has officially shut down the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline's LGBTQ Youth Specialized Services Program. That service launched back in 2002. It offered callers under 25 the option to speak with counselors trained specifically in LGBTQ issues, reaching nearly 1.5 million contacts since its launch. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration announcing that decision. The 988 Lifeline was launched after bipartisan legislation signed by President Trump in 2020, which specifically recognized the elevated suicide risk among LGBTQ youth. If you or anyone you know is seeking help, it's available still by calling the number right there on your screen.
And the Trump administration is also moving forward with plans to try and reopen Alcatraz to prisoners. In May, the president announced plans to reopen and expand the prison. Attorney General Pam Bondi and Interior Secretary Doug Burgum visiting this site today. Legally, reopening Alcatraz would require congressional action, as the island is part of a national park under the Interior Department's control. Experts saying this project could cost billions, one reason why the prison was shut down back in 1963. Today, Alcatraz draws 1.5 million tourists every single year. Let's take a live look outside now. Our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. We were tracking some smoke yesterday from that nearby Dale fire. Chloe Carlson has the latest on the cooler temperatures, but the stickier conditions right after the break. Stay with us.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
And happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome back. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 cam in Rancho Mirage. Still some blue skies out there today, but yes, definitely more of that cloud cover out in our sky this evening. That'll definitely be something that continues through tomorrow. Light winds there in Rancho Mirage. Light traffic as well on the 111. I don't normally get these, so thank you so much, Douglas, for sending this in. This was the sunrise this morning. You can see, yeah, those beautiful clouds kind of just right in front of the sun there. So a beautiful look this morning. Always send the sunrise and sunset photos in. We will showcase them here on the news. As far as today's high, yeah, 102 for the high. As I mentioned earlier, slightly below average for this time of year. 108 is normal for us. We'll be back to seasonal conditions by Saturday. So enjoy those below average conditions while they last, albeit also a little bit muggy out there, but I will take below average. 98 right now on the southeast and in Indio, 99 already in Thousand Palms. Overnight tonight, we will stay in the low 80s here for the low desert, 70s up there in the high desert. So as far as future wind potential, yeah, mostly breezy conditions for us, not a huge concern as far as winds go. I think the wind corridor will consistently stay slightly gusty in the afternoon and evening hours as we get into the weekend. Surface moisture, yeah, much higher as we get into the second half of our work week as we anticipated. So 25% today. It'll drop down to 20 as we get into Friday, still high for the weekend. So today that low pressure system center is still to the south of us. Overnight tonight, that main energy will be moving through Southern California. So the better chance actually for rain and thunderstorms is now more more so on Friday than what we were originally anticipating would be today. So this is a short-range model, the high-resolution rapid refresh model, taking us into this evening and showing a little bit of some moisture could be moving to the south of the high desert there. Other than that, it's going to take a break, move in late this evening over the San Bernardino Mountains. We kind of have our eye on that area moving into Friday. Yeah, a little bit more of those scattered showers might be moving through the area. So we could see some sprinkles here on the desert floor. A lot of that might evaporate before it hits the floor. We are very dry, of course. North American model also showing the San Bernardino Mountains getting quite a bit of moisture as we get into our Friday morning. So we'll keep an eye on that area again. Chance of thunderstorms as well as that moisture kind of moves through. Saturday, yeah, slight chances in the morning, but it'll be drier conditions for the weekend. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. Below seasonal for our Friday. Again, like I said, we'll be back to seasonal conditions by the weekend.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, the Firebirds have a new face to coaching staff for the 25-26 season. Vince Stelletti has been named the new goalie coach in the Coachella Valley following the promotion of Colin Zulianello to the Kraken. Now, Stelletti has spent the last 5 seasons with the University of Connecticut in the same position. Well, get this. In an article written for NHL.com, Stelletti and Zulianello met 8 years ago at a goalie conference, and when the position opened up this summer, Zulo knew who the perfect candidate would be, and the rest is history. So we'll get to know Vince Stelletti here over the next couple of months. Opening night Friday, October 10th at Acrisure Arena. And a huge congrats goes out to the Palm Springs Power skipper Casey Dill on winning his 600th game on Wednesday night. Dill has had a ton of success at the helm for the Power. In his first season, the Power went 35-3. They won the Southern California Collegiate Baseball League Championship. This is Dill's 8th season with the Power. He began the year with 578 wins, so 22 wins. That was a safe bet as ever for the Power. And staying with the Power and all the winning that they do, the team clinched a spot in the championship on Wednesday night following a big win over the Havasu Heat. Now the quest for a three-peat begins on Saturday against the Inland Empire Pirates at Citrus College at 5 p.m. Then Game 2 will be back here in the Valley on Sunday, July 20th at 4 p.m. and Game 3, if necessary, here at Palm Springs Stadium. It'll be the last chance to see the Power in action this summer, so be sure to head out to the ballpark this weekend. We'll have more on tickets and specials coming up right here on NBC Palm Springs on Friday. That'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
All right, thank you, Tim. And in some entertainment news tonight, new movies aiming to take down Superman at the box office. Here's Manny the Movie Guy.
Hello, everyone. I have big news.
The evil wizard Gargamel is one step closer to dominance in this ho-hum reboot of the Smurfs film series.
Lame.
Yeah, well. Rihanna is heavily used in marketing this film as Smurfette, the lone female Smurf. It's as if the film has nothing left to offer than the pop goddess. That sounds about right. This new film follows the Smurfs as they enter the real world to save John Goodman's Papa Smurf, taken by Gargamel and his brother Razamel.
We're storming Razamel's castle.
This reboot makes me feel blue, coming from director Chris Miller, who gave us the much better Shrek the Third and Puss in Boots. For all its bright, candy-colored animation, this one is dull and lifeless and will put little kids to sleep, only to wake up for, you guessed it, Rihanna. And for that, Smurfs gets 2 out of 4. Just wait for it on streaming. Kisses. Another lazy reimagining is I Know What You Did Last Summer. This 4th installment of the I Know What You Did franchise is a direct sequel to 1998's I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. But no matter how they did it, you still won't care. Like many sequels before it, it's the same exact film as the first, except for a few tweaks and hooks. Like the first film, a group of friends find themselves targeted by a mysterious killer after covering up a fatal accident.
This isn't the first time there's been violence like
Fans of the first film will be happy to see old favorites Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt return. But that's about it. This one is predictable and forgettable, except for the excellent mid-credit scene that's far better than the movie. And for that, I Know What You Did Last Summer gets 2 I Really Don't Wanna Know kisses. And finally, we have an original film, and it's called Eddington. Set during the powder keg early days of the COVID-19 pandemic in the fictional town of Eddington, New Mexico, we see the clash of the Eddington Titans between Joaquin Phoenix's sheriff and Pedro Pascal's mayor.
That's why I'm running for mayor.
Written and directed by Ari Aster, this neo-Western cautionary tale shines a light on conflicts, polarization, and misinformation. Timely topics that somehow failed to resonate deeply in the film.
Maybe he's been spying this whole time.
One problem is its overstuffed narrative that failed to be compelling, but at least the actors will keep your interest all the way to its explosive ending. And for that, Eddington gets 3 out of 4. My pick of the week, kisses. Sorry, Smurfs. I'm Manny the Movie Guy for NBC Palm Springs.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
All right, get ready for this. Millions of people getting ready to take a bite out of Shark Week. The Discovery Channel's ever-popular Shark Week programming run starts this Sunday. It's now in its 37th year. Shark Week lured more than 25 million viewers last week. This year, the event will premiere 20 hours of new shows.
I did love Shark Week.
Yeah,
Let's
Shark
look forward
Week
to it.
and then Fat Bear Week are my two favorite weeks.
Nightly News is next. We'll see you at 6.